If you stick with me for the next 10 minutes, you will be creating incredible looping animations that have gotten me thousands of views on Instagram Reels in the last couple of days. This is a beginner level tutorial, but will produce professional quality results. Let's begin. All right, we are in Adobe After Effects. The first thing you want to do is composition, new composition. Now, the size really depends on your use. I currently have it set to 1080 by 1080 because I prefer to upload Instagram Reels in squares, and that is the square dimension for Instagram Reels. You can also do a width of 1080 and height of 1920, so like a vertical HD, and take up the whole square. That's fine as well, or the whole screen rather. But for this sake, I'm going 1080 by 1080, regardless of the fact that that's a 1-to-1 frame aspect ratio. So we're just going to call this one Mandala. Okay. It doesn't even have to be a mandala, but that's just what we're calling it for now. So the first thing we want to do is let's do some organizing on the left. So really quick, I'm going to make a few folders. The first one's going to be called raw. Actually, no, sorry, I'm thinking of video editing. It's going to be called resources. And this is where we're going to put like pictures and any other things that you might import. We're also going to make a folder called asterisk comps. And the reason there's asterisk is, well, it's supposed to... There we go. If you organize it alphabetically, anything with an asterisk goes to the top. So very important things I always put an asterisk in front of. Inside comps, we have Mandala. Make sure you drag that in there. And the first thing we're going to do then is go into resources folder, and you're going to import any picture you want. Any picture you want. To do that, you can just go, make sure you're clicked on the folder, go to File, Import File. I happen to have a folder open right here that has it, so I'm just going to drag the image into here. Give it a second to copy. And it is a zebra. It's drag it in the resources folder if it's not in there already. And then drag the zebra into the timeline of the mandala. Well, mine's a zebra. Yours doesn't have to be. Now, there's a lot of scaling I can do here, which is actually going to give us a lot of flexibility with the mandala because you can do a lot of changes simply by scaling this thing. For right now, I'm going to make it where it fits vertically. It's going to fit. There's obviously extra width. That's fine. And then we are going to play around with some different effects. The first one I want you to do is CC Kaleidoscope. CC Kaleidoscope. So you can go to effects and just search this. CC space K Kaleido right there. You're going to see it. Drag it onto the image in the timeline. And immediately you're going to see some interesting things happening here. There are a lot of, let me close Essential Graphics. I don't need that right now. There are a lot of things that you can change to make this even more interesting, but you can start off just by messing with the size for one. I like it right around here right now, but you can play with the rotation. That's going to do a lot of interesting things, and you can mess with the center point, both X and Y. And just look at all of this. I mean, it's basically infinite possibilities just in one effect right there. So let's do some timeline stuff. My duration is 12 seconds just because that's what I aim for on Instagram Reels. And I like loops that are 12 seconds. I think it's manageable to get people to watch for the full 12 seconds and then almost trick them into watching again because you're going to make it loop. So the halfway point is 6. So that's where... I usually put my final keyframe, and I'll show you how I loop it from there. So let's go to the beginning at 0, 0. On the timeline, let's just animate right now the, let's animate the center. We'll go center point. So hit the stopwatch. Let's actually open this up, Effects, CC, Kaleido, and have center showing right here as well. Then I want you to go to about 6, or whatever your halfway point is for your duration. For me, it's 6. And then I'm just going to just move it. Okay, move it a decent amount depending on how much animation you want going on. If you do it only a little bit, it'll be slower. This is pretty much the pace. Yep, I like it. All right, cool. So we'll worry about looping after. Let's also do a little bit of rotation. So we'll go to the beginning, turn on rotation, go to the 6. I'm just going to change it a little bit. And now let's see what it looks like. If you are finding these tips useful, I need you to subscribe right now. I don't want you to miss any of the lessons that I'm going to be providing you. We have a lot to cover and we don't have the time today, but the good news is I'm not going anywhere. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. So this is just a picture of a zebra, right? And it's already looking like a pretty cool effect going on. Now you could change the different mirroring options. Like right now it's a flower. All of these are going to give you vastly different results. I like Starlish. I like Flower. I haven't used Unfold, but it's looking pretty interesting right here. But I think it's a little too tile-ish, like Wheel is there too. All right, so I'm going to actually go with Flower. I think I'm going to go with Starlish. Yeah, I think we'll do Starlish. All right, cool. We've got an interesting mandala going on already. So now if we want it to not just stop right here and loop back, what you're going to want to do is highlight your keyframes. Well, actually first, no, what you want to do, I'm sorry. We will highlight the keyframes in a second. Hold Alt and double click, I'm sorry, just single click on center, right? Hold Alt and the stopwatch on center. So Alt, click on stopwatch, and it should pop up this script area here. So you're going to delete what's in there and type exactly how I write it, same caps and everything. So lowercase loop and then out with the capital O to start, parentheses, quotes here, and then write ping pong, like the game ping pong. Close the quote, close the parentheses. And what we're actually going to do is copy this really quick because it's going to be easier to do. So now what you'll see is it already starts animating back on the center point. The issue is it's not doing it on rotation yet. So go over to rotation, Alt click, delete everything in here and paste. And the other two things you want to do, highlight both of the timelines, the set of keyframes, right click on one of them then, keyframe assistant, and go to easy ease. It's going to give it a subtle ease into each transition. So there'll be, you'll see the pacing's different, right? So it gets towards the center, eases into the transition, then turns around and comes back. And now we can just let this keep looping, and you already have a working mandala. Now, another thing we can do is maybe add some turbulence, okay? So if you type turbo, the one we want is turbulent displace. We're going to put that right here on the effects. And as you mess with this, you'll see what this does. You could play around with it and just check it out yourself if you want. But it's just adding some distortion. Now this might ruin the effect for some people, right? I think it's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I like it, but it's just a tool you can use creatively. Some things I like to do is I add masks and mask certain areas to have adjustment layers that animate shape and add this effect. Maybe there'll be like a triangle in the middle that'll have a turbulent displace. But it's a really useful tool. The other thing I like to do then is, let's say this wasn't even. It's kind of all over the place. Okay. We'll go to mirror. Add a mirror on here. And make sure the center point is the center of the document. So come down to here. I just went down here on this menu right here and turned on proportion grid. Title action safe can also work. Click this crosshair and then click directly in the center of the document, and it's going to make it completely centered. Now, it's not a huge difference on what we got going on here, but some things you're working with might not, like if you don't use Kaleido, which you don't have to, you can still get interesting. Like, look at this interesting result, right? We could animate it, but like this is just a still image. But you still have something interesting going on here without even using the Kaleidoscope built-in feature. Another thing we can do then is I sometimes will double the mirror by click on mirror and do Control D. And then the second one, what I'll do is I'll add a rotation for the reflection angle of 90 degrees. Now it rotates every direction. All four quadrants are reflections. And then if we were to turn off Kaleido, you'd see even more. It looks less like a zebra. And you can animate this and make this super interesting if you want. Like, I don't know, maybe animate the turbulent displace. And no, we'll do evolution. Evolution would probably make more sense. So I'm going to go to the beginning of the timeline, turn on evolution, go to Effects, close Kaleido, turn on Turbulent Displace, go to Evolution. There's a keyframe on. We'll go to 6, and then just play with it a bit. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Alt-click and paste. Oh, no, I accidentally overwrote my paste, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, now I'm going to give both of these an easy ease. Keyframe, assistant, easy ease. All right, now if we just watch this, it's very slow, but you have a working symmetrical animated loop. It's kind of trippy. But the key thing to take away here is using this loop out ping pong and just mirroring and making things symmetrical. There are a lot of things you can do with Kaleido, turbulent displace, mirror, and even adjustment layers. So have fun with it. All you really need is a picture to get started. You can use shapes as well too. But the possibilities are endless. I would love to see what you guys come up with. Mine's pretty simple, I guess. If you enjoyed today's lesson, I'm asking that you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell because you don't want to miss what's still to come. Tell me in the comments what you came up with. And if you have any questions, I will respond to everybody within 12 hours, I guarantee. That is all for today. Thank you and see you next time.